Hello everyone, and welcome back to Stacy's Voice. I want to give a big thank you to Caitlin for sharing her heart in the last video. God has blessed me with a wonderful family. Today I would like to talk about the procedures that I went through to get me prepared for chemo session number 2. In the descriptions below, you'll find Amazon links to supplements and products that I use. Remember, subscribe, share, and give me a thumbs up. My family was headed down an unfamiliar path, a path full of questions, hurt, and sorrow. How could this happen to us again so soon? Was I really clear of cancer in the first place? Something in my mind did not add up. My first fight with cancer was so hard on my family. Could they handle another battle? Could I? These questions were racing through my mind with no answers in sight. In August of 2011, I was scheduled for a biopsy of my ovaries. My husband and I talked to the surgeon about several scenarios that may happen on what he would find. We discussed several possibilities that needed to be planned out beforehand. We had to decide whether we were going to take just the ovary with the tumor, or if we were going to take both of them just in case there was underlying tumors. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is very rare in the ovaries. Less than 1.5% of the patients have this occur. Out of precaution, I decided that if there was a removal needed, that they would take both ovaries. At the moment, I was not thinking about the changes that my body may go through. I just wanted the cancer out of me. The findings from the biopsy showed that a removal was needed, and so while I was in the operating room, they took both ovaries. At the age of 44, my body was going to be put in full-blown menopause, on top of everything else that I was having to deal with. Look out, world! Here comes hot flashes and mood swings. 10 years earlier, I had a partial hysterectomy for another health issue. I seemed to recover well from that, so I was hoping that this would be the same. Removing the ovaries was not the end of the journey, it was only the beginning. Shortly after recovery, my oncologist sent me to have an EKG on my heart to see how it responded to the chemo, and if it was strong enough for the second round. The heart was good and strong, but one thing that hadn't been affected by all these changes. In preparation for the chemo, I had to have a port inserted right above my heart. The port was a device that would help the chemo get in my bloodstream faster. The chemo was also too powerful to go through my veins. Most of you are asking yourselves right now, why is she going through all this? It sounds like torture. I, like many other cancer patients, trusted their oncologist with their years of experience that they would know the best treatment for cancer. So I didn't question anything that he had prescribed. By the end of August, I was in my rotation of every 3 weeks for 6 treatments. The chemo that I would be receiving is mainly prescribed to breast cancer patients. Different chemos have different side effects. In video 3, I talk about the side effects of my first cancer battle, but this one was going to be different. The new chemo had greater risk of hair loss, skin problems, and mouth sores. I had thought that I had experienced enough, and now I was going to be possibly losing my hair. Remember that one of my greatest fears or vanities was losing my hair. Losing my hair meant that others would know that I was sick. Losing my hair would mean that I would know I was sick. As I sat in the recliner in the infusion room, I was not prepared for the sight that I saw. A nurse was clothed with a surgical gown and rubber gloves. She sat down with a syringe of deep red chemo and a cup of ice chips. She instructed me that while she was pushing the chemo through with the syringe, that I was to eat the ice chips as fast as possible. If I didn't, I was guaranteed mouth sores. That was a painful thought, so I did as I was told. The side effects set in after the third session. Not only did fatigue set in, but also I was pulling out handfuls of hair. It was time to call in reinforcements and face the inevitable. I asked my mother-in-law to come over and shave my head. It was an emotional move, but one that needed to be done. Because I was still working and surrounded by people and children, I bought a wig. I wouldn't replace the effects that the chemo was having on my body, but mentally it was helping cover it up. Though I could tell my skin was paler and I was swelling, as long as I had my wig, I thought I was able to cover up what was going on the inside. I remember questioning God's purpose, but never feeling anger. His purpose would be revealed in His timing. I cling to Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ that gives me strength. Thank you for being here today. The next episode, I will continue through the chemo and radiation rounds with great results. Remember to subscribe, share, and give me a thumbs up.